Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to welcome you all for this event. Ideation and bootstrapping of the available resources. And as a part of normal habit, I would like to introduce the speaker before we proceed for the session. So today we have Mr. Steve Borgia with us. Mr. Steve Borgia is currently the chairman and managing director of INDeco Leisure Hotels. INDeco stands for Indian Ecology, a tourism company with national interest, and it's also the only Indian hotel group to win the distinguished Global Ecotourism Award, and they're also the winners of Embassy nomination for the American Museum Partnership. His companies and concepts are people-centric, creating INDeco Hotels, Swami Malay, INDeco Hotels Mahabalipuram, and INDeco Lake Forest Hotels, India's unique heritage hotel landmarks. Later it being the only Indian hotel to win the Global Ecotourism Award is a testimony for the hotel itself. He also wears multiple hats apart from being the CMD of INDeco Hotels. He's currently the Vice President in the Indian Heritage Hotels Association. He's also a former member and the current President of the Ecotourism Society of India. He's also the Chairman of Rural Tourism Society of India. And finally, he's also a member of the Advisory Committee to the World Heritage Matters under the aegis of the Ministry of Culture. He's also best known as the Firebrand President and CEO of the then debt-ridden Sterling Resorts, of which he pulled nearly out of the grave. INDeco is also the winner of the Distinguished National Tourism Award in the year 2010. He's authored multiple books and has established several museums also. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you, sir. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You must be all confused with the introduction that you heard. And I am myself very confused. But I developed this talent of always doing what I'm not supposed to do. And I really don't know who did what I'm supposed to do. But it has worked. As simple as that. You find it hard to believe. I really rejoice 24/7. But I'm very scared if God has some big time bomb for me at a later period of my life. I've never regretted anything I did. I travel 6 days a week. I produce tons of wealth. I spend it all and manifest all my desires. That's my name, Steve Borgia. These are the offices I hold. I really don't know what I'm doing in a Maharaja association. I'm not a Maharaja. But I don't know what took me there, but I remain very significant there. But honestly, I think I'm a clairvoyant. I keep that a secret. I think I'm a clairvoyant. I'm able to match demands with sources. I'm able to feel the pulse of the earth. It's like sowing a seed. You sow it in the right place, nobody can stop it growing. So I developed that technology of talking to the trees, talking to the earth, and sowing things in the right fashion. So let's go back. What I'm going to try to do today is, I got to know something about time, and I appreciate what you're doing. Everybody is in similar situation. We always want to do something. You would come to know that about 90%, if they were to be honest with you, they are doing something but wanting to do something else. To be in business, many people are shy. Some are scared. Because there's a taboo in being in business. They don't know who a true businessman is. I just want to share things that I did in my life. So you'll find somewhere we are in the similar boat. When I was in school, it was so difficult for me to understand even a 3 times table. I could manage the 2 times table. But 10 years later, if you ask me what was my non-detailed teacher, what sari she was wearing when she was teaching me Othello, I'll draw the design. But what is Othello, I may talk about David Copperfield. So when I was in school, I was into art, work, religion. There was a school, I studied in a school called Padma Shishatri, and it was next to a temple. If I'm punished in school, I'd walk out of the school, go to the temple and learn Sanskrit slokas from the Gurukul there. I used to like the way he pronounced Sanskrit. Egadam Mahagayam. My Sanskrit teacher would not talk like this, but I liked the diction he had. So I would go and learn Sanskrit from him. And Sanskrit was not my second language or my first language. Then in college, I got interested in films, documentaries. I started doing films and documentaries even while in college. Then pedagogy, social issues, villages, tradition. These were my interests, but I was a commerce graduate. I wouldn't know how to do a balance sheet. But that didn't matter. That didn't matter. Then I went to France to study art. People thought I'm a good painter, so I must study art. So again, I went there and studied art and social communications, culture, and heritage got into me. You learn to admire and appreciate small things in your country when you're far away. Interesting. Then I got into Unicef. I was working for Unicef. I learned to be creative. That's the last place where you have to be creative. You have to be very bureaucratic. It's 100% right. Your boss is always right. And when your boss is there, you shut up. You don't talk. That's the only organization in the world that is global. Practices the same. But I was looking at creativity in that organization. Then back to India, I wanted to work with the government. When I worked with the government, I said nothing moves here, so I should be a Maharaja. This Maharaja thing was going in my mind very often. Very often. And probably I was the, I won't call the poorest, but least money available person in my class. Because I was studying in a school where all the film actors' children were studying. Like Karthik, Prabhu, all film actors' children used to study in that Padma Shri school. But I always wanted to be a Maharaja. When somebody came, my principal used to be very proud of my Sanskrit diction. So she would say, oh, this boy knows Sanskrit very well. He can narrate any number of slokas. And then they will obviously say, recite. And I will start off, close my eyes, I will start. And this foreigner who comes and says, so what would you be when you grow up? A temple priest? I said, no, I want to be a Maharaja. And everybody would laugh. What would you like to be? I want to be pilot, I want to be postman, I want to be engine driver, I want to be doctor. I'll say, no, I want to be Maharaja. Everybody would laugh. And Mrs. YGP would think I'm teasing, I'm creating fun. So she'd box my ears. One day she dragged me to her room and said, why do you do this? Why do you disturb the situation? Why do you do this? You want to be rich? Here, take the and all the small changes and throw it on my face. I'll collect it, give it to her. No. She said, why do you want to be a Maharaja? And I told her, I want everybody to be happy around me. I'd like to build temples. I'd like to grow trees. I'd like to see the world very rich. I'd like to build palaces, temples, take care of all the people around me, feed everybody. Then she shut up. She never shouted at me. But I continued with this. Then I got into the corporate, stirring results. I came back to India. I wanted to buy a sick company, a very sick company. 8,000 employees, not paid salary for somewhere between 8 months to 2 years, 742 crores liability, 110 court cases for company closure. I didn't know how many zeros accompanied a crore. I didn't know. I enjoyed my 10 years turning around that company. I did not borrow a penny. I did not borrow a penny. 3 crores 62 lakhs was our first payroll, the first month I went there. In the third month we came to 34 lakhs. Being in Unicef, I quickly worked out the top 3% of the company took 87% of the payroll. The president, senior president, vice president, senior, that was that culture when we were getting very American in 92. The top 3% took 87% of the payroll. I decided I will burden the responsibility and kick out the top 3%. There are any number of people down the line who will take those responsibilities. Potential is there. So when I then said, no, corporate doesn't do good, after 10 years I sold the company. I bought it for $2 a share and I sold it for 64 and I got out of it. And then I said, now I'll only be a Maharaja. So I got into business. The business of being a Maharaja. Now I'm going to run you through how I evolved the product, what I did, and then later take you to my kingdom and show you what really is happening. Now, I'm not doing this to tease you. I'm only doing this to say how easy it is to do business in India. And these things you can do only in India. You can never do this in the US. You can never do it anywhere in Europe. I worked all over the world, and for any gold in the world, I would not leave this country. Even if I have to go to Europe for 5 days, I'm so uneasy. I'm so uneasy, I come back. So I'm going to talk to you about manifestation of human desires. God is not a bad fellow. If He gives you a desire, it's an order. And there's a way to manifest it. Once you have a desire, you must have it. Not having it is not an option. And if you have someone to blame for it, it's you. Singularly you. So my desires must be divine. And I told you, God must be a good chap. I don't want to have a desire, oh, my neighbor's wife is fairer than mine, how about having a fairer wife? That's not a good desire. Oh, my neighbor is driving around a limousine, and why am I using a Santro? How can I have a Mercedes? Those are not good desires. But if my desire is saying, oh, I have a scooter, I spend time on evenings taking my wife and child to the Marina Beach, how about having a nice small car where I can dump my old parents in the back seat and go to Marina? That's a good desire. These desires are normally manifested if you try to be right. So I also learned that we need to long to dream, because it's a dream that gets converted to desire. So I always dreamt big. I dreamt country. I dreamt great concepts, things beyond my comprehension. I would listen to someone. I still remember I listened to Mr. J.R.D. Tata in Bombay. And then I said, hey, that's a nice idea. How about doing that? I never thought of money. I never thought of investment. Money was never in my thinking. I told you. I didn't even know how many zeros fall off the road. I come from a traditional family. And I'm sure many of you who are not into business are in that situation. You hear statements like this, Appa, business, nammalukku venappa, adu romba adavadi adikanumpa, nariya tappu pannanumpa, government kula eduthu pannanumpa, adu corruption pa. No, they think business is bad. Their understanding of business. These are people who are refusing the art of creating wealth. You can never deny the art. You can never deny creating wealth. To create wealth is your right. How you use that wealth is what makes you. You don't have to use it all on yourself. I have one bungalow, let me buy another bungalow in Boat Club. Let me buy another in Poet's Garden. Let me have an ECR weekend bungalow. You don't have to use it all on yourself. You can use it on others. That's what makes you. That's what keeps you on top. It's easy to go on top. Very difficult to remain there. And that is what it defines. Look at the words on business. Concern. What a beautiful word. Company. Firm. Union. Organization. Family. Beautiful words, aren't they? How can business be bad? Business is an activity of the Maharaja. You want to do something for your country? Business. As an employee, you can never do much. Let me tell you that. You will be bothered. This month we are short of 3,500 rupees. Next month we are short of 1,000 rupees, 800 rupees. This is what an employee runs his life with. Even a small businessman can do wonderful things. An employee can never think that way. But in business, I believe you need to have the loyalty of a dog, dharma of a king, vision of a creator, spirit of a terrorist, obedience of a disciple, and acumen of a businessman. I like these terrorists. They are so sure of what they want to do. Yes, if the bomb blasts, he is happy, and if it doesn't blast, we are happy. But you see their acumen. They are so sure what they want to do, and nothing can stop them. Nothing can stop them. Today, to take a bank loan, we think 100 times, right? Or a big businessman is in town, let's go and meet him. Oh, number appointment கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. Azim Premji is in town, yeah, he's in Woodlands. Sunday he comes to eat dosa there in Madras. Can we go say hi to him? Security would have we decide on all the no's. A terrorist is never like that. Their acumen is what we are doing now. He wants to do it for the bad thing, and we want to do it for the right thing. There's only one way, the winning way. I told you, God is not a bad guy. He wants all of us to win. We need to work that way. Why are you late today to work? I came, bus later, bus puncture. You can give 100 reasons for the wrong way. But the right way is only one. Bus, late, or I am late. You get my point? So we need to find the right way and shoot. Very early in life, one guy from Pittsburgh, a teacher, of course we call Guruji and all this, he's a teacher, used to work in Harvard. This guy told me something about divine intelligence. Very beautiful. Intelligence can help us probably know the 3 times table or 4 times table. But this divine intelligence can make us do the unlimited. This unlimited thinking. There are 100 ways of doing things. So I said I'll start working on the divine intelligence. That's why in school I was a big failure. To get 40 marks in mathematics was such a difficult thing. So I told you, to do all this, I wanted to be a Maharaja. That was the business I wanted to do. So I'm in a business of being a Maharaja. So to do that, I needed to train myself in the power to manifest. That's a definition for divine intelligence. There is something called divine intelligence, and that is not classified or territorial. It is universal and does not offer degrees. I believe this is ever-present energy and grace, and is available to you and me. But we deny accessing it. We think it's not with us. And this can make you do anything. You don't need me, you don't need a teacher, you don't need a guru, we don't need anybody. Just shut your mouth and close your eyes, you will hear your soul giving you the answers, yes or no. The second part of it is to persevere your thought. And if you persevere, you're not losing. You're losing only when you give up, right? You lose only when you give up. Take these high jump people. They go on jumping. Even if others have thrown out, you still to get the top range, you go on jumping. I like that. Because the perseverance, because it's a record. So, coming back to our business, when you are wanting to do some new business, don't say I'm a startup, because I want to get into business world. And then you like that word, because startup is a very nice word. Believe me, I have climbed the hill and climbed down. I still don't know many words. Even today when somebody was talking, introducing me, there was 1 or 2 words I didn't understand. startup. I'm in business, so you have to use the business language, startup. Once you say I'm doing a startup, then you're thinking of other things. Say I want to create. When you start, use words like startup, the second word is money, right? The third word is bank. And the bank guys know how to pull down the right guy. They'll encourage the wrong guy to the hilt until the whole bank is swiped out. They'll go on encouraging. They'll call the guy, sir, you took 7 crores loan, sir. We have a provision, sir. We can extend up to 10 crores, sir. Take another 3 crores. Is that so? Sir, in your wife's name, you can take 10 crores also, sir. But for a guy who has a brilliant idea, asking for 1 crore, the bank will ask you 100 questions. So don't look at money, bank, look for an idea. When you look for an idea, the rest of it will follow. Can I have some water, please? Oh, thank you. So when you look for an idea, the rest of it will follow. So I look for an idea. When I say idea, I mean a product. Product is what that makes your investment, right? To create a product, you need an investment. So I looked at a very different product. I looked at India as my product. The product was ready. A phenomenal product. I said I will sell India. I didn't have to make an investment. I didn't have to go to a bank. I promise, INDeco has never had a bank borrowing. Probably we are the only company in the world that has not had a bank borrowing. Hoteliers borrow for nothing. Even if they don't need money, they will borrow and create another company. My balance sheet is open, it's on the net. We do not have 1 penny borrowing, we do not pay 1 penny interest. Not because of fun or being simple, there was no need. I had a product spread all over this land, and I had to just sell. I had to just pull out concepts from there and keep selling. So India was my product. What a product. We have nothing to fear. Speaks in 2,000 languages. Have you ever heard of another country that does that? Writes in about 50. We taught the world how to do the first airman in the world. Exactly when the British called us half-naked fuckies. We taught the world how to count. If Ramanujam had not taught them 1 to 10, where are we? What a product, what a product. I had no competition. I had absolutely no competition. Even if I were to say something like this, Benares is older than history, guys will come and ask me, can you explain that statement to me? That's India. That's India. That's enough. I'll tell them, give me $10, I'll take time to explain that to you. A statement as simple as that. But my concern was different. It was environment, equidistribution. It pains me. Why are we developing at the cost of rural India? Urban India, the more the development happens, the more gap widens between rural India and urban India. If a child here is quitting a job, boss says, you have to come in at 9. Boss, what happens if I don't come in at 9? I'll have to see if I call them ready of terminating you. Please do. A job is waiting for me next compound. Take your bag, go into the next office. Job is waiting. For a kid in a rural area to make an application is a Himalayan move. We have a building here where rural children can come, stay for 3 days only to attend interviews or make applications that go. We have our HRD department sitting and helping them. It's such a task for them. to come to a city, find a place to stay, to make an application when they are unemployed. Do urban kids have that problem? No, not at all. So ecological coexistence and access to all and for all was our prime concern. So we developed that into a business called responsible tourism way back in 1994. For me, India is like a lotus, unlimited. And I had the guts to say that nobody can get into the depth of India. There is so much to do, so much to sell. Nobody can go to the tip of a lotus. Human fingers cannot open the lotus. It is like this vadaparam. You go on peeling, at one point of time you have to give up. Have you tried opening a lotus flower? You cannot. At one point of time you need minute knives and forks to do that. But if you don't take good care of it, this is what would happen. I knew this as well. And this is where India was gunning for. This is where we were going, to spoil this beautiful country. In the past 100 years, historic monuments have been destroyed, cultures smashed, religions threatened. We have lost so many villages for non-farm purposes. Take this. I bought all my Maharaja colleagues of the Indian Heritage Hotel Association to Chettinad. This was 2 years back. I took them to some Chettinad. I think Chettinad chicken is more popular than Chettinad. I took them to show them some houses. It's a village full of palaces. Some houses have 150 bedrooms, 200 bedrooms. I took them and showed them. Exactly 2 years later, this was the state of that building. All the doors sold, windows, not stolen. There are 10 brothers. One brother takes the light fittings and sells, the other fellow takes the window and sells, the third guy sells the window, door, and they go on selling, and finally they leave behind a shell like this. That's the pride of a country. This is the house that got into that form. It had 149 bedrooms. Incidentally, this is the house of my F&B manager in one of my hotels. His salary is about 15,000 bucks. Whenever I take guests to show this house, the eldest brother will be playing golf in Singapore with a SATCOM, going from his house to the golf course in a helicopter, and the last brother will be sitting with a loin cloth, like a beggar outside this house, asking you for 5 rupees to drink chai. Losing beautiful lands for non-farm purposes. Development also destroys. And art, culture, heritage are the first ones to go. But preservation is not the responsibility of government alone. We can't keep blaming the government. The one who is destroying is not normally the government. It's you and me. But even there, you have to see an opportunity. There is an opportunity in everything in India. Good, bad, ugly, I see opportunities and I smile. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to capitalize on this myself. I would offer the idea to someone, but I don't see many takers of that. I see some smart people. But normally people don't believe there's an idea hiding there. There's an opportunity hiding there. I know one boy in a place called Changana. The ducks will put their head down like this because they think somebody has shot them. And they'll be just swaying with the water. Then you will take one stone and you will throw it on one duck. That duck will wake up. Oh, I'm not shot. All ducks will wake up and they will continue. And you'll say, Vaat the Muttal, Vaat the Madayan, duck fool. And he takes them, after some time he'll show them how the duck lays water under the water and how they collect it, all this, and then end of the pond there is a toddy shop. He'll go take his newspaper, spread it there, keep one mineral water bottle, a small water bottle, and he'll collect $25, and he'll serve them hot rice which is served in a toddy shop with fish curry. We'll all keep one towel on them and keep wiping them, and they will enjoy that fish curry rice in a toddy shop. He's collected $45 per person. $45 per person in half a day. And he does this every day. Now I believe he comes there in a car, he parks it far away, he comes walking and he uses the same hut, he doesn't live in that hut anymore. That's an opportunity. What is this investment? India. India. Thousands of opportunities. So I started seeing opportunity in destruction around me without grumbling. Look at that. The PWD department, to broaden a road, they smashed a temple compound wall. So local people got against them. How can you smash our temple? Problem became big. I was passing. I said, okay, don't worry, you don't have to hit them. Problem solved. I said, the first donation to create another temple, I will give you. And solve the whole thing, and I went. 3 days later, they brought these statues into my hotel in Swami Malai. I said, why? No, you gave us donation, we'll give you this statue. They gave me about 20 statues like this. I said, I don't need, keep it in the new temple. They said, no, we don't use old statues in a new temple, take it. I was just then building a palace in my hotel, restoring a palace. I had place, I put it there. Today, every guest of mine who comes will go, hold the tummy of this man and take a selfie. And that statues become so popular. The Madras Central Prison. How many of us felt bad that it was being pulled down? Right? One chief minister's ego was hurt. He decided to pull down the Madras Central Prison, and 1835 it came all the way from Birmingham. 6 tons of iron. Just because he was put in the cell, he decided to break it. And we all kept quiet. We went to put one candle there because it's gone. We sent the prison to the gallows. Right? How many of you visited that prison before it was being broken down? Look at that good soul. Sad. I too went with my children. So I asked, who's given the contract to break it? I asked him, how much is your contract? 6.5 lakhs. For all the wood and the iron that is in that prison, it's daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. So I said, okay, can you sell that main gate to me? He said, no problem. By the weight, I paid 18 lakhs for the gate alone. Then I said, what about cell number 172? What is so special about 172, he asked me. I said, no, I just said a number. I didn't want to tell him the truth. When Subhash Chandra Bose was captured in Calcutta, the British had no guts to take him to the central station in Calcutta to move him to Port Blair or take him to the airport. They stole him out and brought him to Chennai. But unfortunately, the aircraft landed here in the night, so they had to keep him, because he was a prisoner, keep him in the central jail. So he was locked in cell number 172. So I bought that cell for another 6 lakhs. Right from me, he made that money. And what did I do? I put it in my hotel, in my museum. Today, many people come, takes photographs with that gate. Every movie will have at least one scene from that gate. Right from Rama Rao to MGR to Shivaji. Huh? That little door will open. The old man will come out. He will wipe his eyes, put the glass. Then he will look. Twine. My wife and children have not come to receive me. He will start walking. Music will start. Song will end where he comes to his house. One lock will hang in his hut. Then the neighbor lady will come and say, oh, they all went away. No. Then he'll go sit in one tree and watch that house. Then what will happen? The old story will start. Flashback. What a beautiful gate. A story to say. Now it's in a museum. The Adyar banyan tree. We had a lightning. The whole tree was burnt. We all went to put one candle. So I also went. I love that tree. Because today the young people have more privacy. Those days, when you wanted to kiss your girlfriend, you had to go into the banyan tree. There were a lot of streets inside, and nobody would be there. Just kiss and quickly run. That tree had pathway in which cars can pass. So when I went, I saw this branch alone, green. I held it to put my candle. That branch came with my hand. I took it and I planted it in a pot and had it with me for 23 years as a bonsai. 6 years ago, I planted it in my hotel and see what it has grown. The DNA of it's the same DNA of the original tree. Today, all my guests love to sit under that and eat. The Great Mint Palace. Even people in Madras city did not bother about this Great Mint Palace. When the British East India Company bought the official minter to mint gold coins and silver coins, the copper and bronze was given to Perumal Chetty. But he bought from Rajasthan a Bansilal from Shekhawati to print the gold and silver. That guy said, I want to live in these triplicate houses. I'll build my own palace. So he bought stones from Shekhawati and built this 4-story palace and lived in it. 8 years ago, Tamil Nadu government decided to break that palace, to broaden that mint street. I took them to court, but nothing could stop. Finally, it was broken. This is how it was broken. I took them to court, we went up to Supreme Court. Finally, I had to buy the palace for 5 crores. I bought it, removed it stone by stone, carried it all the way to my hotel, and it was sleeping for 2 years. This was the palace, sleeping in my hotel in the farm, and then we erected it there. Today it is my lobby. I have a museum inside. There were 300 students volunteering, and now we have found a tunnel under the palace, a tunnel that goes to River Kaveri. See how God helps you when He wants to help you. I told you, He's not a bad fellow. And it has reached a stage, it's so beautiful. Miss Portuguese did her portfolio in that building. She's ranked number 3 now, probably she'll be Miss World. So that is that building. Any temples being broken, delayed, now people start bringing there. This is the Rettavinayagar coming to check in there. The Tamil Nadu government decided to waive off one of its properties in Mahabalipuram because it was loss making. In 2004, we leased it and converted into this. Look at that. There was no water in Yerkod, so all the hotels were shutting down. Coffee plantations were going dry like in Munnar. You know what we decided in a coffee plantation? We decided to build a hotel with 100 rooms. Everybody thought it was crazy. We are shutting down hotels and this guy is building a hotel. We purchased water from Salem in the plane, took it up by lorry to feed this hotel. Because all hotels shut down, this hotel was doing very well. Collected every drop of water from that hotel, treated that water and used it for the plantation. We did not cut even a single tree. Now the plantation has water, the hotel is flourishing. This is the hotel. It got judged as the 6th best idea to save planet Earth by the Fortune 500 magazine. And we got 1 more crore as an award. And that's the money I invested to create the treatment plant. This is the first aircraft that landed in the Madras presidency, the first civilian aircraft, much before Mr. Tata got his pilot license. A 19-year-old Chettiar boy was flying this to Burma and back doing business. Now we are busy restoring it with local people in Tanjavur. It will fly in another 2 years. Muslim-Hindu conflict in a village called Swamimalai. Destroyed 3 villages and people evacuated. This is about 100 years ago. 100 years ago all this happened. And the village remained unoccupied. Shankaracharya, the senior Paramacharya, had his house just at the tip of this village. I wanted to buy his house when he died, but later I got to see these villages just behind the house. So I acquired that slowly. It was beautiful. And today, This is how the village was when I acquired it. 100 years unoccupied, and today it has become like this. I converted that into a hotel. Can you imagine a village being converted into a hotel? So this is what happened. Today it is 3 villages together. That's a hotel. That's the only hotel that has got the India's Global Ecology Award. So per capita income of the village not only doubled, it went crossed $600 from $4. 79% of our employees are from the neighborhood. All missions happened, and today it's flourishing. So it's no more a hotel in a village, it's a village in a hotel. So you can transform. Now we started looking beyond. Got into publication, temple renovation. Why do we need the government to do all this? You and me can do it. So businessmen actually plays the role of a Maharaja. Come to think of it. I mean, today CSR is defining it. But those days it was the businessmen, A.L. Mudaliar, Ratan Tata, the Reliance, all these people were philanthropists. They were taking care of their neighborhood, the Jamindars. They were taking care of the neighborhood. Today we have lost that. We have lost that. And that is why we have a major responsibility. We cannot bring the Maharaja back. But you and me can do that. We can take that responsibility. If you say, no, I don't know how to do this, how to do that, I don't know this, I don't know that, no, that's only escapism. God has trusted you and me and taught us everything that He knows, every trick that He knew. What is most significant? To create another life, right? When we contain the energy to, by instinct, create another life. When I got married, nobody taught me how to make babies, right? I knew it by instinct. So what is that you're looking for? It's an excuse, I think. You just have to do it. The guts with which you have to do it. That's why I said you need that spirit of a terrorist. Nothing should stop you. Somebody, okay, your opinion. Okay, your opinion. If I lose, I am the loser, right? I go ahead and do it. So business is all about converting opportunities to wealth. If you got the idea, money will follow. Let's not get stuck up and start searching for money. We spoke about perseverance. In my case, the past became my business. Heritage became my business. So past is the business globally of the future. So most countries have realized the economic liberation that hospitality industry can bring. So I pegged on there, hospitality. With that, I'm sure India will be seen with new eyes by the world, and that's what we need. In good old days, there was no 5-star hotels, no Wi-Fi, no website, no telephone, no mobile phone. We brought the whole world to this country. The Mughals came, Genghis Khan, everybody came here, the Chinese, then the Dutch, then the Portuguese, the English, the French, and again, the second cycle, the Chinese are again coming. We lost so much, they took so much, but we still have so much to offer. So much to offer. That's the product. Take as simple as about 2 months ago, I was attending a wedding in Dubai. Those days it was all called Persia. The Muslim countries, all Persia. So, like the way we give coconut as a return gift when we go, they gave me a cake. I said, look, I'm traveling all the way to India, what do I do with this cake? Yeah, it will get spoiled, keep it. He said, no, this is good for 15 days, non-frozen life. What is it made of? It is something special, and he coolly said, it's from India. It is a tradition there for elite Muslims to give this cake. What is that cake called? Maulana Dum Root Cake. So where is it made? It's made in a village near Kumbakonam. I came back, I went there. An old Muslim family. The old man goes into a secret chamber, does the mixture and comes out. Then all the workers go and start making this cake. It's still held a secret. Maulana Damroot cake. So this is how you make a product. Mother Teresa, once I did some drawings for her when I was in college. So she wrote in the same book, God bless you, love and all that. That's what she usually writes. So I had that paper with me. I said, I don't want to lose it. So I framed it and put it up in one wall, in one lobby of one of my hotels. Every day the Christian workers there will go, stand, pray and go. This is how products get involved. Tomorrow I won't be surprised if that becomes a church. You get my point? That's the power of this country. That's the power of tourism. So whatever we do, we throw some heritage, some ecology and some responsibility and create a great track route for this country, and then growth will be unprecedented, we'll be a unique country, we'll be an interesting country, and we'll have the price advantage. Today our travel agents are suffering because India is becoming a very expensive destination to visit. European kids don't mind going to the US, to Morocco, to Japan, and to come to India, they just can't afford. They just can't afford. And India has no reason to be expensive. No reason to be expensive. We are exploiting, we are killing the market. Tomorrow we lose the tourism advantage that we have. So rural India became my concern. I always narrow down slowly. I take a step, I narrow down. I take a step, I narrow down. I knew what I want to be ultimately. If you look at rural India, what they need is food, clothing, simple. Education, health, transport, dignity, happiness. But what do they have? That again became my product. They smile, they are honest, they are humble. Fruits, rice, flowers, cloth. That became my product. Again, I don't have to invest. What do I have to do first? There are Americans and Europeans coming to my hotel and they are right. The world's best service, the world's best staff, not trained. Not at all trained. The Oberoi school, when they train the Taj and the Oberoi service staff, they will say, stand like that, hold the plate to your navel level, 1 feet away from your tummy, and you walk straight, looking straight at the guest. That's the way we are trained. When we train our people, we will say, take the idli, and they will say you have to walk steady. Each step 3 seconds. So this guy will be counting 3 seconds, 1 feet. Look, he's already got stiff. He'll go, take the food, leave it at the service counter. Idli will be getting colder and colder, and then he'll come, adjust the fork, the spoon, he'll do all that, and make sure that idli goes totally cold, and he'll bring it. So your hot idli, sir, it will frustrate you, especially those who are used to eating hot idlis at home. Here this guy, wearing dhoti, shirt, angostram, will carry the idli and run to the table of the person. And while he's running, he'll say, sir, 1 minute, I'm coming back to you, sir. Sir, 1 minute, sir. And he'll go put the idli, sir, hot idli. Days are changing. And these people get called the world's best staff because they are genuine. He's able to smile. He's honest. He doesn't wear a suit and goes, well, good morning. That's how the Taj guys will treat you. Did you sleep well? Oh, why is he shouting at me for nothing? Yeah. You are hitting the ego of the guest. These guys in the village, the service guys will always stand. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. They'll do this. So these French tourists come. Once the guy was holding his hand, they were doing like this. The lady thought, their culture, that he's welcoming them, wanting to plant a kiss. She gave her cheek like this and she was waiting. You get my point? Culture. It doesn't cost me anything to train these people. I have to make sure they remain themselves. Honest, smiling, thrifty. I have to only make sure he's hygienic. So our business was all about what they have, what they know, and what they do. So I knew tourism is a magic wand. So we created our own mission statement and created a new product. So now I'm going to take you to my kingdom. It is all about entertainment drama. We created our first hotel in a village called Swami Malai, which nobody heard of. It is one of Murugan's abode. It makes beautiful iconography. It is a place where the word Om was born. We believe this yuga was also created from that Mahamaham time, like Noah's Ark. So much history to sell. I said, this will be my product. I didn't invest a penny on that. I had to only write all these things. So you see how a product comes free for you. Where is the need for a bank loan? Where is the need for a fund? I buy some dilapidated villages. I create homes, just 8 rooms. Today we have 104 rooms. It didn't cost any money. So we called it INDeco, India Ecology. Look at that. That's the hotel. It was like this, dilapidated. Today we have restored a palace there. This is Shankaracharya's house which got restored. This is it's not the village, it's all a part of the hotel. Morning pujas happen. We try to engage every person working in the village to come and work here. The drawings are done by local people. Look at the breakfast setup, the mint palace starting. We teach people how to ride a bullock cart and give them a license to ride a bullock cart and charge $10 for it. That's the entertainment center. Every evening there's cultural program. Because if you don't engage these children who are dancers and singers, they will go away to America. Look at the swimming pool, a temple tank like. Those are the rooms. Look how rich the rooms are, full of antiques. That Ravi Verma painting is original. It costs about nearly 8-9 crores today. Deers are walking around. There are peacocks all over the place. That's our welcome drink. We teach them to drink tender coconut, not with a straw because we are plastic free. We teach them to drink with a palm leaf cut and it is drained. The tender coconut is drained into their mouth. We teach them, charge them $10 again. The village people teach, charge them $10 and then they take this coconut home, pour water and demonstrate it to their family. Look at the symmetry of that village. That's our swimming pool. We do not use fresh wood. All the wood that we use is from broken buildings, recycled. Those are the varieties of rooms that we have. This is a palace that was restored. It's a Sharfoji palace. Look at the interiors. That room can sleep 20 people. It's meant for 2. We have not changed our tariff since 1996. In 1996, we charged them 3,500 rupees per night, and even today we charge the same thing. That's a bathroom. Those are corridors. Luckily, I stuffed the hotel with antiques because those days not many people knew about antiques. A chair was 3,000 bucks. A table was 5,000 bucks. Today the same thing is about 40,000, 50,000. So today my room furniture cost is a lot more higher than the room itself. Those are all the rooms. People can play with the deer. Look at that. It's like paradise. The whole hotel, 3 villages is like a museum. People are always going around. That's a tub. They can bathe in that. That's all dining. You will not eat the same food. You will not use the same cutlery. You will not eat in the same location. We sell all what is tradition. We are not inventing anything. That's a dinner. After dinner, we have all the traditional folk art. Now these Chinese kids come and they want to dance with the Tamil cinema hero. So Dhanush was shooting in that region. So he came and they paid him 3 lakhs for half an hour. That's the kind of money these kids have today. So everything becomes interactive. All the vegetables and fruits are grown there. Now it's become a wedding destination. I don't have to grow it. It grows on its own. We got into more passion. Now that we have a lot of money, what do? We said we'll be responsible. We said our roads will all protect the worms, the insects. So it's all made like this. See how beautiful. A real snail comes to meet a terracotta snail. So we have Ayurveda, museum, even at 1 o'clock in the night, the museum show will continue. This is the aircraft that landed here, which we are restoring now with local people. The first postman cycle. Our museum is very classy. It has the world's smallest working gramophone. We teach people to pull a cart and we give them a license like this and charge them $10 for that license. Rickshaws, photographic thing, teach them to wear sari, yoga, meditation, everything. We want to take the tourist and put him right in the heart of our culture. Rub shoulders with people who perform the music. They cannot take their cars for sightseeing, no petrol. So I encourage them to take cycles for village visits, temple visits. We take them close to nature. Who can play with the deer? A deer is so sensitive, it will run away. Here they have opportunity to feed the deer. Children, a child who has fed a little animal like that will never hurt an animal. Let me tell you that. These are all orphan. We have an orphanage for deer, an orphanage for cats, an orphanage for dogs. These are all hurt on the highway. We bring them there, treat them, and they survive with people. And these children are given ecological coexistence certificates, printed in these age-old machines which were bought by the British to print Bibles to convert you and me into Christianity. So we have those presses that printed the Bible. Those are the staff from the village. We cannot say no to handicapped people and handicraft people, to abandoned women. We cannot say no. We have to give them job at minimum wages. We have a canteen inside the hotel where anybody from those 18 villages can come, eat and go. We call it Anaya Adupu because it has to be on all the time. We have a dairy. For every room that we build, we need a cow there. We have to buy a cow. I cannot build the 20th room without buying the 20th cow. And the milk that is produced, half goes to the hotel, the other half remains there. Pregnant mothers who have just delivered can come and take a glass of milk. Women who are pregnant can come and take a glass. If there's still more milk left, the girl children going to primary school can come and take a cup of milk. We have integrated the whole thing. Look at the spirit. There are so many guys there, physically well, but the guy who's one-armed has climbed there to tie. The other guys are holding the pole. We build schools, but in our own style, with local material. We run some old age homes. We employ old people. They can come and work for 1 hour a day and get 1,000 rupees, but they will get their medicines, clothes and food 3 times a day. We form cooperatives who will restore. This is a women cooperative. We grow trees in the neighborhood. That is the uniform khadi which is produced in the village. We consume entire product that is consumed in the village. Train young people how to get jobs in urban areas. This is all that you need is a story to say, history to connect, and a biscuit to sell. If you want to be that biscuit, nobody can stop you. And that's business all about. So this is the palace. This place got converted to that. Look at that. This is what happened to that place. So now you understand what I said when I want to be a Maharaja. This is exactly what I want to do. So Maharaja doesn't mean a crown, a palace, a throne. The next one was, there's an 1820 camping site in Mahabalipuram which the government didn't want to run because they were making losses. We took over and we converted it into a beautiful hotel, and we did that with 30 people, with 30 days and with 30 lakhs, and we built 30 rooms. We did that and it got documented, and this was the hotel, what the TTDC gave me. See what it has become, the road. This road has become that. You see the beautiful tiles there are? You see those tiles? So sometimes if you use the buddhi, great things happen. I didn't have much money. So I said, we will build 30 rooms, 30 people to motivate 8,000 staff of mine. I said, I need 30 volunteers. My accountant and sales guys, all these guys came. We said, we'll build that hotel. I'll just tell you one example. To convert that road into a lobby thing, I didn't have money to buy so much of tiles. So I sent my purchase fellow to all the tile shops on that Mahabalipuram Pondicherry road, and I said, if you have tiles stocked up in your backyard, I'll send my lorries. You pay me 1,000 rupees per lorry load, I'll clear it for you. So they all paid me 1,000 rupees and allowed me to clear all those tiles. I brought it into my compound and I had young people to segregate white, green and yellow. That's all the tile I wanted. The remaining tile I gave it back to somebody else, I sold it. I used those 3 color tiles to make those beautiful carpet kind of a design. 20 years now, it looks as though a carpet has been done there. So that day I stopped looking at experts. We have never had an architect or an engineer to build all these hotels. No architect. We work with local people. I said, why would I use my hard-earned money to give the joy of building and creating to somebody else? I said, I'll do it myself. Oh, the scenario, the scene here is very nice. Put a window here. So you need a door, put the doors there. Start building. The rest will follow. All our hotels have been built like that. All our hotels. We have museums in every hotel. These are all the chairs that were used in the Fort St. George. This is how the hotel was. This is how it was, and got converted into that. This was the restaurant. So finally everybody kept asking, how did you do, how did you do? And we had to write a book. The secret of building a hotel in 30 days with 30 lakhs and with 30 people. So then we had to look at newer products, and I told you about Yerkod plantation having no water. So we built 100 rooms there and created a hotel. A very ecologically sensitive hotel. This is that hotel that we did. We didn't even touch the rocks. We kept that and kept building without disturbing the ecology. Look at simple ways in which designs are being made and converted into research. Using people. There we used the Anglo-Indian architecture, which was nearly lost. This is the hotel we have created there. And very sensitive. If I can help the bird come and hatch its eggs and take the offspring, I think I'm sensitive and ecologically sound. Waterways, windways. Look at that. If the chair gets broken, it gets converted into a napkin holder. The last European community, we followed their style and created the whole thing. We take care of the local animals, bisons, and do a lot of work. And we live with a bit of a guilt, putting 100 rooms in a 50-acre plantation. But then the World Ecological Council and the Fortune magazine rated us as the 6th best idea to save planet Earth and gave us an award of 1,000 crores. So that washed away the guilt. So this is all the parameters that we follow. So look at that. We break the wall to allow the tree to grow. We don't cut the tree. Do a lot of publication. So we have some heritage museums and all this. This is all that we do. We have the world's smallest gramophone in working condition in our museum. That's a Ravi Verma painting. Every week, 1,000 children pass through our museums. 1,000 children. If I'm in the hotel, I will be their guide myself. This is the Mint Palace, how the government broke it and how we got it and shifted it all the way to 120 craftsmen from the villages and made it sleep in our backyard and finally erected it with no architect, no engineer. We erected it ourselves and today we have the beautiful building standing there. It's our lobby. If somebody makes the mistake of giving me a 1-inch thick plastic award, that's a national award. We made it a beautiful shelf in the toilet because we need a shelf to keep your mobile phone when you go to the loo. Yes or no? And it will stay for good. All that you have to do is wipe it with your towel, it's bright. It will never get decayed because it will never deteriorate. We use them as road indicators. We recycle everything. If you say you don't need one now, we'll recycle it for you. Diwali, people send you gifts, sweets, with a much more expensive packing, right? With beautiful wood. See that? The sweets that they send me with that packing, that becomes a shelf in the museum. There are a lot of kids who get provoked by these ideas and who want to come and intern, giving up their studies. They intern with us and then they go into conservation schools, village work, rural development. Some of them stay with us. They come and learn. The kids today, one thing I'm very happy about the youth, India is in safe hands. I think it's my generation that goofed a little bit looking at these white men that we have to talk English, we have to go to convent education, we have to do this, we have to do that. These kids are liberated. This is a little boy who wants to learn to run a dairy. He worked with us for 1 year. Today he has a dairy with 100 cows. Look at these kids from Harvard. Now I stopped going to Harvard and Cambridge. I used to teach. I stopped going. Now they come. They spend 3 weeks with us. They spend 2 months with us. This is all them. So Responsibility and sustainability is all about goodness, common sense, and innovation. We need a second revolution to find ourselves, to discover ourselves. So all these are other ideas that have came up, and then we are trying to provoke the government to do this, to go for shopping along the Kuvam. These are all ideas. They come free. Close your mind. You'll have 10,000 ideas and 10,000 businesses. Right now we are trying to inspire the railways to convert all the heritage buildings along the railway track into heritage hotels and stop your trains, then people will start using them. Look what beautiful locations the railways have. Then motorhome concepts. We constantly try to keep provoking governments, constantly. It takes a long time, but one day it will happen. So you needed a Shah Jahan to look at a Taj Mahal. You needed a Walt Disney who gave us laughter, then A.R. Rahman, music, all this. We needed one guy to provoke, and it all happened. Friend, I am not a social worker. I'm an aggressive businessman, looking for new ideas and capitalizing on it. Don't think I'm a conjuice, that I'm recycling doors. An ordinary door might cost me 5,000, 10,000 rupees. I don't mind spending 10 lakhs for a door, as far as I'm not wasting wood. Somebody has already wasted and done a very decorative door, but I want to preserve the door, I will do it. So you must be wondering, then who's this guy? Jayalalitha's Binomi. Just because I painted my resort in Mahabalipuram in green color, everybody thought it was Jayalalitha's money. They allowed me to work in peace. Because they saw, if I have to comprise 3 years of construction time to 30 days, hundreds of lorries have to come and go. So they thought I had millions with me and I was spending all the money. Right? They didn't know I was going to finish the hotel. So no fellow came near me. Even the Panchayat fellow never came and asked me for an approval. I finished the hotel and then told them, now give me approval. They gave it to me. So, but who am I? You must be thinking, oh, this fellow was born with golden spoon or married a rich woman. Nothing. So let me talk to you about my school days. I told you I studied in Padma Shri, such an outstanding student. My teacher is sitting here. She was my teacher. She is not old enough to be my teacher in 4th standard. She was replacing her mother who was our teacher. So I was an outstanding student, always stand out. Because I never did my homework, I could never answer what is 3 into 6. Never. Always put on a pedestal. I could never do my classwork either, so stand on the stool, stand on the bench. But I stood there and had an overall view of how all these guys are functioning. You know, some fellow copying, some fellow doing this, some fellow doing this. So I was always thinking. Then when they put me outside the class, I told you I'm outstanding. I would have my lunch 10-15 minutes much before all others have. I would take from every box a little lunch, taste all their food, and when the lunch bell rang, I was ready to run into the playground to play kabaddi. Great scales. Always I attracted scales. My report card was very colorful, with plenty of zeros, and I used to color them. But then how did I do it? Was it divine magic or the fabled world? Born with the golden spoon, Aladdin's magic story, the prince story, Aman Arul? No, none of them. How then? I think I looked at life differently. I did not go to competition. I never compared question paper. How did you write boss? What answer was? After the exam is over. If the exam is over, let's go and eat and play. You will be comparing. The students will be putting marks for every question. I never did any of those. I just enjoyed my life. Enjoyed. But I lived simply. I loved generously. I had lots of friends. Even today, I call on my principal at least once a week. We spend half a day together. We have one meal together. Until year before last, we went on a holiday, 4 days a year. We have traveled up to Cambodia together. On a wheelchair I took her. Right now I'm busy writing a coffee table book on that woman, by GP. I titled it, The Woman of My Life. She said, Vayanada, your wife will feel bad. Titled it, The Woman of Our Lives. How do you like that lady? Care deeply. I speak very kindly. I don't like to insult people, but I work very aggressively. Very aggressive because I know where I am going. I know what I want to do. So we need to long, to dream. If you can dream it, you must have it, and not having it is not an option. There's always time. Don't say I'm 60, I'm 16. I've handed over my company to my daughter who's 23 years old. But I'm now saying what I'm going to do 60 plus is going to be what I'm really capable of, and I'm looking for your ideas. Ideas are worthless if you don't persevere. I told you, you must do it. Not doing it is not an option to make India smile longer. India needs you. Thank you very much.